All right, let's get going. What we'll be learning today about low pressure accumulation conveyors and rotary accumulation tables. Simple. What are they? What do they do? Who needs them? And why do they need them? Where to find it on our website? Pretty simple. Buy equipment, all categories. Scroll down to conveyors. Under conveyors, you'll see low pressure accumulation conveyor. 2 down from there, you'll see rotary accumulation table. All right, category definition. The plate accumulates product, accumulation, then releases the product onto another conveyor. As you can see, we've got an entry point and an exit point. You've got your bottles in between, right? Sometimes instead of releasing the product, the accumulation machine fills up with product at the end of a line. This piece is pretty unique because you can see it not only at different points, meaning the beginning or the middle or the end of the line. There's not a whole lot of pieces that get to do all three, but this one can, as we'll see later. All right, here's our first video. If you pay attention, they've got what's called that's a add-on, a loading table where the bottles are. It would stick out from one of these angles, and what they're simply doing is they're dumping the bottles onto that station to get it fed into the table, which will get it fed into the line. As the bottles are loaded on that table, here you go. I'll let the video speak for itself. Bottles get loaded, they go around, and then they're fed into the in-feed conveyor. Does that make sense? Typically, these are made from stainless steel because they're easy to clean. It's got a very smart design. You see the guardrails or the guide rails? All right, here's another video before we start. This one's pretty neat. The next one's pretty neat because, as you saw, it can just convey into like loading or something like that. This one actually shows a situation where I always wondered before what this little piece here was for, other than just being in the way. But you get to see exactly how unique and how valuable this piece is. All right, go for it, Edmund.
A curved
Okay, here it is. Watch this. See how they're all bunched up?
This system is designed with the appropriate motor size.
We're going to fix that. Look at that.
250 pounds of product on the accumulator.
I thought that was neat.
While running from 2 to 5
look at it.
revolutions per minute.
Because
We've slowed the speed
I
down
never
to
really
show
understood
product
what this was
can be
for,
bulk
but look what it does.
Or scattered randomly before passing around the spring rail that gently aligns the bottles into one single lane. The rotary
So then it could go into your loading or indexing conveyor.
on standard
Pretty neat.
110-volt single.
All right, next one, you get to see one of our Sigma-owned pieces.
Welcome to Sigma Equipment. Today's cycle test includes an E-Pack 40-inch SS accumulation table with variable speed drive. This machine is running on a 120-volt system single phase. The stainless steel plate on this unit has a diameter of 40 inches and rotates in the clockwise direction. The rotation speed of the plate can be adjusted on the control panel. The maximum rotation speed for the plate is 50 feet per minute. This specific unit is a rotary accumulation machine that is set up to fill with product at the end of a line. The guide plate is positioned to push product to the middle of the table to maximize storage space on the rotating plate. The guide bars can be set up in different formations to either receive or give product to a production line. All 3 legs on this machine are adjustable to set the machine at different heights. To learn more about accumulators as well as other pieces of equipment, please visit us at sigmaequipment.com.
All right, location and production line. If you see the blue arrows, you'll see there's accumulation conveyor right there towards the end of the line here on the left. And there's another one in the midline, which not only do they get to either feed or exit, but sometimes they'll have one of these in the reject portion. Like as the bottles came off the capper or something, if you had one that was rejected, they would shoot it onto that accumulation conveyor on the right. Low pressure accumulation conveyor. I don't have an example up here, but that's also part of the presentation. This is also referred as a minimum pressure conveyor, not to be confused with zero pressure. Have you guys heard that term? All right. These conveyors are most often used to move and accumulate boxes. In a zero pressure, you don't want the boxes that are being conveyed to actually touch. Let's say it's an Amazon facility or something, right? Zero pressure, there's sensors and stuff underneath that works the magic to where every box coming down will not touch. In a low pressure, which we'll be learning about today, you actually get to see the boxes touch. All right, you'll see this video here. This is pretty neat. Watch this. So he's just letting them go. Boom. See it touch? But then you see it back up? Pay attention. It'll hit it and then it'll back up a little bit. This is low pressure where the boxes actually get to touch. All right, but you see how it notices now there's a traffic jam up ahead. You see how that one stopped? That's where the magic is, right? All right, oh, here's another one. Example of water bottles. Like I said, it's low pressure, so they actually get to touch. All right, so obviously these have just been run through a bundler or a shrink bundler. You guys familiar with that term? All right, see them touch? Boom. And they just kind of chill out. Then they go. Where in your zero pressure, those will not touch. Let's say you had fragile stuff like glass bottles. All right, we don't want the clank clank. But in a low pressure situation, they're allowed to touch. Obviously, there won't be any damage to these bottles, plastic ones. But you see how they just kind of lightly touch? It's not a crash. All right, so where do you find it in a production line? You see the blue arrows? See the bottles to the left, they'll come through the bundler, and then as it goes here this way, you see the blue arrows. There's your low pressure accumulation conveyor. And then after that, it'll go into the palletizer. Does all this make sense? All right, upstream, downstream. I kind of put them all together. Upstream, you'll see depalletizers. Obviously, this is for the blue is going to be for your rotary table. Depalletizers, unscramblers, fillers, cappers, retorquers, and labelers. Upstream for the conveyor, you're going to see case sealers, case packers, drop packers, and bundlers. Downstream, you're going to see for the table, the rotary table, filler, capper, induction sealer, labeler, sorting and laning conveyor, a palletizer, and a stretch wrapper. Are we all familiar with those pieces of equipment? Okay, perfect. All right, some common manufacturers in both of these categories will be Hytrol, Crohn's, AMS, and Accutech. We should all be familiar with those. Industries used in beverage, pharmaceutical, food, household goods, just about every industry, right? Who doesn't need a conveyor or one of these? As you can kind of see the fulfillment center. If you ever had a chance to get on the road and see that in operation, I was in amazement. I mean, but that was me, right? And then there's a table there on the right. Category takeaways, sales. Number one question, what is your product, Mr. Jones? All right, what are your product dimensions? Obviously, when we're dealing with tables and conveyors, we need to make sure the product fits on it, right? What's your product weight? What's your speed of the line? Will this piece be pre or post filling? And let's make sure that he understands low pressure versus zero pressure, as we all do, right? All right, acquisition. What product was last ran? Is it complete? Because those that have been on the road, when you see all these conveyors everywhere, you got to ask them, is it complete? Is there anything missing? Did you guys pull anything off of it? Do you have a video of it, right? Can you power this thing up? Because if you've got 1,000 feet of conveyor, let's make sure it's working. When was it last in use? If you don't have a video, at least I can tell my customer, they don't have a video, but they just shut it down 2 weeks ago, right? We're good to go. How many feet of this do you have? Because I can't do my tape measure all the way across this building, right? All right, engineering questions. What diameter table do you need? Pre or post filling? A lot of these will be synonymous with the other ones. Stainless steel, table height, what are the product dimensions, product weight, conveyor width, height. For the low pressure, how many zones? Like I said, underneath there's some stuff happening, and you need to know how many zones you're gonna need in that. Obviously, floor space and electricals. Do you have three-phase power or single-phase power? All right, Sigma on example, K8318. It's an AMS A900 48-inch accumulation table. Pretty straightforward. Oh, if you look around it, you'll see the guide rails. That's huge. A lot of times your customer will want that. Some guys are savvy enough to where they can fabricate it themselves. All right, category summary. What did we learn today about low pressure accumulation conveyors and rotary tables? What they do, who needs them, why do they need them, and what they are. All right, questions, concerns, or comments? All right.